Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully people are enjoying it along the way that I do it. And like in my own strong opinion, I feel giving the right opportunity, the right spotlight, it's only going to grow bigger. So
I think the Horror King would have been an excellent persona, talent, character in the original ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, especially with the type of music that's there and all. That would have been a great fit. But hey, you're in Ring of Honor, and that's becoming a great fit as well. You, Matt Taven, TK O'Ryan, the Kingdom, you're the six-man World Tag Team Champs. When you all came together and debuted, maybe back in 2016, you guys had a huge debut match. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, for the longest time, I think since like 2011, I was trying to become full-time with Ring of Honor Wrestling, and throughout that time, I was able to have some good matches with a bunch of different people on the roster when I wasn't signed. And then Taven, wanted to do the Kingdom in his own image, and he decided that I was going to be one of the guys that he picked. So, myself and TK O'Ryan. I've known Taven for over a decade now. We've started together in wrestling. He's actually a year ahead of me. We come from the same wrestling school, and then TK came through the same wrestling school later on. So it was just a perfect fit as far as the chemistry. So, and finally for me, personally, actually going out there in Lowell, which is Massachusetts, which we're very familiar with. It's where we started. A lot of our, career started in the Massachusetts area. So when we debuted in Lowell, as the Kingdom, it was awesome. It was awesome and to go against, the Bullet Club at the time was the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. It was just awesome, man. To finally walk out there, be a part of it, officially be a part of Ring of Honor Wrestling, and then being a part of the Kingdom with my two closest friends was pretty amazing.
And that was an incredible match you guys had, and what a way to debut that. You're all from the Northeast, you're all from the New England type area, so Patriots, Super Bowl, that's a big thing. We talked about that. You're from Warwick, Rhode Island. Am I correct on that?
Yep, correct.
That is the Horror King from Warwick. I think that just rings so well.
Yeah, it's a little tiny city right outside of Providence in Rhode Island. So,
are you a Providence Friars fan?
I'm not. No, I did go to a lot of Providence Bruins games when I was a younger kid with my uncle. A lot of them, actually. I was into hockey for a while when I was younger. Did a lot of street hockey and stuff like that. But no, I can't, I'm not a huge in-depth sports guy at all.
Would it be fair to say that you're one of the most famous people today from Warwick, Rhode Island?
I don't know too many.
I don't know any pro wrestlers at this level from Warwick.
There aren't any pro wrestlers from Warwick, Rhode Island. I can tell you that much. I'm the only one in Warwick, Rhode Island that's a pro wrestler, as far as I know.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Horror King, Vinny Marseglia, from the Kingdom, which is the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, he is bringing his talent, the Kingdom's talent, and the Ring of Honor's team talent to the RP Funding Arena on Saturday, February 9th in Lakeland, Florida, and then the Watsco Center at the University of Miami in Coral Gables on Sunday, February 10th. So it'll be two big shows in Florida, Ring of Honor. We love seeing Ring of Honor down here. You're going to have to check the Kingdom out. Vinny, do you have a favorite as far as your look? Because there are different types of your look. With the hair, with the makeup, with the jacket, you have all the tattoos. Do you have a favorite look?
I don't really, I kind of like I said, it's always evolving. And I think right now, currently, is the strongest I've looked. It's probably right now currently my favorite. I kind of went through for a second, because the guy who designs my masks always kind of comes up with some different cool ideas for me. And if you notice, a lot of the masks have the Horror King crown on them. So he came up with one that was kind of short-lived, which was like a clown version, and like it just, the clown was just it's too much for me. I just wasn't, so it was kind of a short-lived look there. But I think currently, right now, is probably my favorite that I'm working with right now. It's like Killer Custom Wear, who does my pants and my vest and my jacket. She's amazing. She's the one who is able to make me look awesome, so kudos to her, because she always comes out on top. Anytime that I need anything, she's always there and makes me look the best I can.
And Vinny, how did you come up with the red balloons?
Well, everybody, of course, goes right back to it. I mean, the red balloon is a red balloon. It's been used in it. It's been used in the movie called Red Balloon. There's a song called 99 Red Balloons. So the red balloon has been pretty symbolic for several years. And I just thought, it's never been brought into wrestling before. And I think it'd be a pretty unique moment for fans, because you never know when it's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to be the first match, the match in the middle of the show, the main event, after the show, intermission. The crowd never knows when the red balloons are going to come flying out from underneath the ring. And I just feel like that's a very special moment for a crowd to be entertained by. So I thought it'd be a good idea to, have it be a part of the Horror King.
Did you know when you first did it, okay, this one's hit a home run? And when you're thinking about it and all, are you bouncing it off other people, whether it be family members, your teammates, or any other trainees or anything like that?
The Lady Horror over here, which is my wife, she's a big horror fan as well. She's, me, my wife, and my daughter, funny, I say this a lot in interviews, but I always find it hilarious. So TK had done an interview before, and he calls me and my family like the new version of the Addams Family. Our home is, like our own museum. We have, horror film props all over the house. My wife does tarot classes. We're very into, horror, witchcraft, occult, you name it. So, I always run stuff by my wife to see what her thoughts are on it. It's only going to work if it feels authentic. If it doesn't feel authentic to me and it doesn't feel natural for me, I tend to try to not do it. But if it feels like natural and it feels like something that I could kind of continue doing, I'll do it. But yeah, usually, I'll pass it by, like I said, my teammates or my wife, just to get their thoughts and opinions. And when I first did it, it was in the Hammerstein Ballroom at Manhattan Mayhem, where in the main event it was like the Bullet Club and the Kingdom and Shane Taylor in like a street fight. And that was the first, I remember Marty's back was to, the far side, away from the entrance, and the balloons came up from behind him, and it was the first time that it's ever been done, but the reaction and the response that I got wasn't huge at the time, but it was enough for me to be like, okay, this is something I think people could enjoy over time. And then the last time they came out to Hammerstein, it was almost like they were waiting to see it at one point.
There's an event down in Orlando, Florida called SpookyCon. I'm wondering if you guys go to events like that, Comic-Cons that are just for horror and that type of genre.
Yeah, actually, I have we've been to plenty of them. Over the years, me and my wife have been to Rock and Shock, which is one in Worcester, Massachusetts. We've been to Monster Mania, which is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'll actually be at Monster Mania the beginning of March of this year. It's one of the best ones you could ever go to. but they're a blast, and I've been back and forth with a couple to make an appearance at one of them, so we'll see if in the future that happens. So you have to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, those are awesome. Those are always a good time for us, because it's all generated from my mother. My mother was a huge horror fan when I was growing up as a kid. So I always was familiar with all the old 80s, horror. We still watch them to this day. But, my mother, still to this day, she's a big fan, so.
Being that your wife is so involved behind the scenes, would you ever think of using her with you around the ring or in the ring?
No. No. My wife, no, she just wouldn't. We've got too much, at home. We have a little monster at home that she kind of has to, keep occupied as well. So, probably not.
All right. Well, Vinny, let's wrap this up. So, Ring of Honor will be coming to Florida, Lakeland, at the RP Funding Arena on Saturday, February 9th, and then down to Miami at the University of Miami, home of the U, and Coral Gables on Sunday, February 10th. It's always great to see Ring of Honor. The Kingdom will be there. They are the 6-man World Tag Team Champs. Vinny, the Horror King, a big part of that. Well, Vinny, we'll wrap it up with this. Easy question. Horror movies. What are your go-to horror movies? You say you watch the 80s, but you watch other horror movies. You mentioned Rob Zombie. Just what are your go-to horror movies?
Oh, man, my go-to always is The Lost Boys. That's my favorite film of all time.
Oh, man, that was Kiefer Sutherland, right?
Yes, Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patrick, the Coreys, man, what a great, it's the movie, it's the soundtrack, it's the wardrobe, it's everything about it that just, it's awesome. So that's one of my go-to movies. Then, I love Devil's Rejects. I love 1990, Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini. That's a great film. And then Fright Nights, Fun House, all the older ones. Those are my go-to. A lot of the older films.
I think you could do your own podcast just on horror movies, heavy metal music, and anything related to that.
Yeah, if I had the time, I definitely would.
That's just great. All right, Vinny, thank you so much for taking the time. We'll see you guys all down here in Florida.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. You have a good day.